it's Izzibel. Welcome to my channel. Today I am working on day 21 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life Series 9. This sketch was created by Rebecca Lockhart, and the challenge prompt created by Adam over at Dottie About Flair is to incorporate a rainbow. The colors of the rainbow, which I will do. This one was kind of throwing me off though, because I wanted to, just like the sketch, use the rainbow hexagons, but it wasn't working for me. I stared at it for quite a long time, and so what I'm gonna do is end up creating a rainbow background with just acrylic paint. Now, I pulled these pictures of my daughter when she was doing summer soccer. It's got she's wearing the pink and the black, and then the other kids have several other colors on, along with, you know, the green in her hand and the soccer ball. So I can work with the colors on it. That's what I'm going to do to create the background. Now, not to get into too much detail, you guys, I did have to take some time away. I got into a little bit of an accident when we went camping, and it kind of put a strain on my mobility. So I'm back on my legs. I'm moving around again. It's not taking the wind out of me to be able to get from one place to another. So now I can move about. It's not ideal, but my scrap area is kind of separated. I have most of my supplies in the guest room, and then I have some of my stuff in my room. It's just how I organized it. It's not ideal, but it works for me. So now that I can move about and get things done, I am gonna knock out the rest of these series 9 sketches. So let me get to going with the background and see what we can do. So to start with this process, you guys, I just pulled a bunch of colors that are in the rainbow and then the colors that are in the pictures, and I'm gonna use all of these colors to create more of like a rainbow background. At first, going into it, I figured this would take care of the rainbow aspect of the challenge, and then as I continued on, I did find some rainbow stickers that I was able to use on my layout, so I have more rainbows on there as well. I just pulled in, like I said, all the colors of the rainbow, and then a few colors that are not part of the rainbow but are in the pictures, just so that once I figure out how I'm going to design the page, it'll be cohesive and kind of relate to each other. So I did speed up this process right here with me painting the background, just because it did take some time. But basically what I was trying to go for when I first did it was just get the colors on there, and it was really light, and I didn't like that I was still able to see the white background, so I kept going. I started adding more colors, and then there were colors I realized I was missing. So I'm just gonna pretty much keep the same stroke throughout the whole painting. On the bottoms, I do it clear across, but from the larger portions, if you can see that I kind of go just to the center, and that is because, one, I knew the pictures were gonna cover that up anyway, and the reason why I did that is because I wasn't confident in my stroke being straight going across such a big portion that I cut it off. So that is why it kind of like just meets in the middle. But once I get all the colors down, I still feel like it was a little too bright, and so I bring in the black. So this is what it ended up looking like. I was really happy with it. Although I decided that I was going to back it with the black, I took off 1/4 of an inch on each side, and then decided that I was going to double back it and bring in the hot pink color that my daughter is wearing. And so it's going to read the rainbow paper, the black, and then the hot pink. And when I bring that one in, I just cut, I believe, another 1/4 of an inch off. So 1/2 an inch off of the rainbow paper, and then 1/4 of an inch off the black, and then the basic 12 by 12 in the hot pink. Now, the photos, I printed them down. The larger one is a 4 by 5, and the smaller one is a 3 by 4, just to match the sizing on the sketch And then once I get these all adhered together, or not all of them, but before I get the rainbow paper down, I realized that it wasn't popping enough for me, so I bring in the distress tool and then I'm going to lightly distress it all the way around and get that adhered to the background. Okay, so now that I have the rainbow background, the struggle that I was having was trying to incorporate that rainbow in the hexagons. But since I did the background, I'm going to bring in the solid hot pink hexagons. And I didn't like the way that they kind of not blended, but how they looked against the rainbow paper. So I'm going to back these with black. And then once I get them in the design that I want and know how many I'm going to need, I am going to distress the edges. I distressed both of them, the pink and the black, and then get those adhered behind the photo. The sketch has florals on it. I do want to bring in the flowers. As you can see on this top left hand corner, I have a flower that I was kind of practicing with. Now these are paper flowers from Recollections, and then I bring in some gold sequins, and then the 3 colors that I'm going to use is Wildberry, New England Ivy, and Lemonade from Close to My Heart. Now what I'm going to do is I have this water brush pen that I purchased on from Close to My Heart, and I'm going to create a watercolor with these ink pads. So what I'm going to do is just adhere the gold sequins down to the center, and then put a little bit of ink on the plastic that I have on the side, and then water it down with some of the water in the pen, and then touch it to the flower. Now because this is a really thin paper flower, it's going to bleed the ink that I'm touching it with, creating some detail in the look. Once I get it done in the center, I don't want to put too much because I don't want the whole flower to be pink. I just lightly touch the edges to get some of that color on the outside as well. I'm going to do this for 2 of each color, 2 pinks, 2 yellows, 2 greens, and then get them on the layout. Okay, so here they are done. Now I was a little surprised that the New England Ivy, when you water it down and touch it to white paper, it kind of bleeds. You can't see it on video, but maybe in the close-ups you'll be able to see it. But it kind of bleeds not only the green, but it brings out a purple pink color as well. More than likely they used a high pigment of it. I'm not mad at it. It still goes with the layout, so I'm still using it. But real quick, I am just distressing both the pink hexagon and then the black hexagon. Now the black paper that I'm using has a white core in it, so when I distress it, it really brings that white out on the edges, and that kind of distinguishes it between the colored paper background and then the hexagon itself. So I really like how that came out, and I just do it throughout the whole layout and get these all adhered down. Actually, I got a little ahead of myself. Before I adhere all of them, I decide that I want to back the photos. Now, I already used the pink a lot. I didn't want to do it with pink again. So I'm going to bring in more of the yellow. I like the way the yellow is popping in the background. So this is just going to highlight it. Not only that, but the ball is a bright yellow, so it really works. So once I get that all done, I bring in a cut file from the Cricut Design Space. It's just a leaf. It's a 1 leaf pattern, and I just cut it into individual leaves so that I can back the florals with them. Now it does cut the center of them out. I did not like it, so what I do is I'm gonna bring in some scrap paper I had in a lime color, and then I'm just gonna hand back them and fussy cut them around. That way that is a solid leaf, because being able to see the background through it, it wasn't doing it for me. So it was really simple. I just adhered it down to my scrap and then fussy cut around it so you couldn't see the lime green outside of the leaf itself. and get them all done. I think I put 5 leaves on each cluster. So that's what it comes out to look like. Now it's just about embellishing, which is what I struggle with when it comes to my stickers. But I found this sticker sheet, the Paper Studio. It has multiple colors that I'm using on it. And then in this green and pink, I'm going to use it as my title. It's Oh Happy Day. I'm going to back it on the yellow just because it is a clear and it was kind of getting lost on against the pink. So I'm going to use the same yellow that I bordered the pictures with, get that cut out in a square, and go back to that sticker sheet and pull in some more stickers. I have 2 stickers, they're circles, they say love this, and then on the other side across from where I put that one, I'm going to end up putting another circle in blue that says be you. Now I pull in some ideology, Tim Holtz Ideology Small Talk. Now they're simple phrases. They just say, you know, choose to shine, do your best, never give up, and be fearless. Now, once I get them on the hexagons, I felt like the hexagons were still a little plain. So I went diving into my stickers and I found some Dollar Tree stickers that I had purchased a while back. They had like little designs on them, but one of them or several of them had rainbows. So what I do is I just cut the word and the clouds off of the rainbows and stick them above each of these phrases. That also takes care of the challenge and it allows the hexagon not to look so plain to me. So once I do that underneath them, I was fiddling around with these stars. Like I really wanted to use these star stickers, but I couldn't find a place where I liked the look. But since I do this, I'm just going to put a blue star on each underneath of that. That didn't make sense. I'm going to put a blue star under each of these phrases as well. And it's just going to basically be cohesive throughout. I really like how it turned out. There are a couple more hexagons that are a little bit plain. On the bottom one, I add this sticker that says hashtag love her. I know it's really hard to see on camera, but you'll see it in the close-ups. And then these leaves that I'm sticking behind the title, they're actually the centerpieces for the larger leaves in the larger floral clusters. You know how it cut out the center? These are those centers. I'm just going to use them because I'm going to put smaller paper florals on it. They have a little bit glitter, so I can't do the watercolor thing. It just wouldn't catch correctly. So what I do is I'm just going to take the same ink pads and just touch the flower to each ink pad just to give it a little bit of color. It's not going to be dramatic. And then I use green to ink around the title just to help it pop. I do bring in some soccer stickers just to bring out some more of the soccer aspect in the pictures. I have a word soccer running across the larger photo, and then a whistle and some, I want to say, I don't know, they're cards. They're like, we didn't stay in soccer long enough to know the rules and the items needed, okay? So it's a whistle, and it looks like maybe like penalty cards maybe is what they would be, but that's gonna go next to the title. I mean, not the title, but next to the word soccer. And then I'm gonna bring in some soccer balls. Now I didn't want to use the whole soccer ball, so I cut each soccer ball in half and kind of tucked them behind some of the hexagons to make it look like it's in the background. And then this date banner I found, and because it was the same color yellow, I thought it would be cool to add the date on it. So she didn't stay in soccer that long. She actually, she didn't care for the running. I think I mentioned it maybe in one of my other videos. We were trying different sports with her. Like we tried cheerleading, soccer, baseball, you name it, she tried it. She didn't like anything. She liked cheer for a while. That one stuck for a while, but soccer only stuck for about, I want to say, a month, and then she was tired of running, and every time we would take her to practice, she would sit in front of the adults by the bleachers and just sing Let It Go while she pulled out grass. And that trended so to where other little girls that were also playing soccer came down and played with her. We figured we wouldn't force her to play if she didn't have a heart for it, so we took her out of it. It did not last that long at all. But thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching it, my layout through the end. I know I'm trying to get back into it, and I was rough in the beginning, and I'm still rough, but it'll get better. My voiceovers will get better. In the description box are other people who played along during this series. Check them out. Give them some love if you already have it. And I hope I see you again real soon with another layout. Bye.